أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وسلم. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Your Excellencies, the former governors of Katsina State, in person of our mentor, Alhaji Aminu Bello Masari, and our elder brother, Barrister Ibrahim Shehu Shema, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, distinguished Senator and members of the National Assembly, former deputy governors that are here, members of the State Assembly, senior special advisor to the President on political matters, Alhaji Ibrahim Masari, our elder statesman, Alhaji Dahir Bara Umangal, the Chief Judge and Grand Kadi, Katsina State, members of the Executive Council and heads of other agencies, head of service, chief of staff, our August visitor, Professor PLO Lamumba, you are highly welcome to Katsina, and we feel so excited having you in our mix. The discussant of today's paper, permanent secretaries, representatives of His Royal Highness the Emir of Katsina and His Royal Highness the Emir of Daura, prominent Katsina personalities and indigents, other August visitors, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah, today we have nothing to do than to thank Almighty Allah for sparing our life to mark 1 year anniversary in office as elected Executive Governor of Katsina State. Mine today is just to thank everyone and also to thank the good people of Katsina State for cooperating with us and the maximum support we got from the people of Katsina State. Today, we were awakened by the paper presented by our guest speaker, Professor Patrick Lamumba. He has mentioned a lot of touching issues, which makes almost all of us remorseful on our conduct over years when it comes to good governance. I have seen people nodding their head in acceptance of what he has said. But we should mirror it. Are we truly doing exactly what was mentioned? Or are we going contrary to that? We should be honest to ourselves. As it was mentioned, governance is about creating confidence of those governed. We must exhibit characters. We must be above board in making sure that we discharge our responsibilities as provided by the Constitution of this country. And I have seen and I have heard the expectation of our guest speaker in the next 3 years. But I'm happy. He has mentioned the fact that you cannot water a forest with a spoon. But despite the challenges of the scarce resources, and I'll continue to remember what he has said, that when you sleep on a borrow mat, you should try in a near future to sleep on a mat owned by you. That was what prompted us to ensure that Katsina State can generate a lot of internal revenue that will allow us to be independent of the national allocation. We are working towards that by introduction of a lot of reforms. And I believe we can only succeed if we have the unity and cooperation of each and every one of you. In terms of insecurity, I have mentioned in over time that everybody has to be contributing his own quota towards solving the problem that affect our people. But we are good in talking. We are good in criticisms, but we are not good in action. Criticisms are very good in governance. Without criticism, you can't make good governance. But there should be constructive and very logical criticisms that will spur economic growth of any state or a nation. In Africa, in Nigeria, and in Katsina in particular. But I don't know what the probe is expecting us to achieve in the next 3 years. I don't know whether we have started on a sound footing from the just 1 year in office. But we are happy that God has provided us with health, with wisdom, and we are also equally surrounded with people who have what it takes to make development happen in any state. I must say here that we have competent soldiers, or I can say competent co-workers that works with me, from the cabinet to the legislative and to the judiciary. These are the way it will work, and we are getting all the maximum cooperation from each quarter. But I must say here that we have to put aside our ambitions. We have to put aside our desire. We have to put aside our expectations and work together toward having a Katsina of our dream. Sacrifices have to be made, because service is about sacrifice. For any leader that wants to succeed, he must sacrifice. And this sacrifice, it encompasses almost everything. At the family level, at every level of the society. But we should know that whatever we do is a collective responsibility all of us that can make us to grow. When I became a governor, I tasked the governors of the Northwest that, look, whatever we want to pursue, because Northwest part of this country is like a homogeneous society. We have the same culture, same religion, same tribe, and we have a common comparative and competitive advantage within us. It is only when the leaders of the Northwest come together that we can be able to address three fundamental issues. One is security. If we are able to do much on security in Katsina State, if Zamfara is unable and Sokoto is unable and Kaduna State, we will not achieve much success we desire. We believe that northwest part of the country is agrarian states, and 80% of our population are farmers. And most of the MSMEs, 70% of the MSMEs that we have in this part of this country is agricultural value chain businesses. And each state can focus on what it has strength and build on that strength to create a kind of economy that will bring a better life for their citizens. We believe that we need to cooperate in that sector, and that was what prompted all of us to move to Abidjan to have a meeting with the African Development Bank president so that we can get a support that will provide a better production and better agricultural business as we intend to have it at this material time. We used to have a traditional agriculture that we see it as a mere production of foods, but we have to go beyond that and looking at agriculture as a full-blown business that can take any country to whatever level we expect it to go. Thirdly, we said, look, for us to develop, we need to also look at all the economic indices within the Northwest and try to cash in that and try to revive industries, try to create job opportunities, try to keep our youth busy throughout the year so that we can block the recruitment window of the criminals in the society. Without doing that, you cannot be able to achieve much, whatever kinetic measure you may take. I will stop here. But what we have seen today is enough to make people to have a clear assessment of what we have done in the last 1 year. And we still call on anybody who has anything that will make us to perform more than what we did in the first year. It's a welcome development, and it's something that we expect to have from each one of you. We thank all of you for having time to spend with us this night. On behalf of myself and the good people of Katsina State, first of all, we want to thank the guest speaker, the discussant, and all the prominent people that spare their time up to the middle of the night for us to rejoice with ourselves in this very important day. We thank you very much for coming, and we wish you journey mercy back to your various destinations. For our guest speaker, we want to see more of you in Katsina, and we want you to give a clear assessment of Katsina State in the next 3 years. We thank you, and God bless all of us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.